Hello, so far we have taken the overview of our project, then we have segregated our project for the multiple engineers, and after that we have created the meshing file for engineer A, B and C. After that we are going to assemble these components meshed by multiple engineers. So let me go for open. Here I can go for left rail engineer A. Let me set it this final file and let me open it. After the opening of file, let me go for isometric view. Now this is just a engineer A file. We have to import the file created by engineer B as well as engineer C. So next time, instead of going for open, I will go for import. Here I have to import the model, so I will click on model. Let me remove this. Let me go for open, and here I will go for engineer B. And here he has made this final file, and let me open it. Here I will go for import, or one thing you can do also, again you can go for open, and at the same time you can import the file created by engineer C and just say open. Now I have two files over here, and let me just say import. Now you can see at the same time these two files will get imported. We have this 2 point as our base point, or we can say middle point. Next thing that I am going to do is to reflect this two component about this middle point. So I can go for close, then I can go for component. Let me just observe the component. So I have total 7 component. Before reflecting these two component, we have to make sure after the reflection, one component should be called as an right rail outer, and one component, that means this inner red component, should be called as an right rail inner. So let me go for creation of these two component. So let me go for component again. Here I will say no property. Currently we are not interested in the property. We will say how to create this property. Just wait for few minutes. So let me go for right. Let's say create an edit, and at the same time instead of outer I will just say inner, and let's say create an edit. Let's give different color to these two components. Select them and click over here and just say auto color. Now I will go for tools. Here I will go for reflect. Now since the current collector is the right rail inner, I will go for this element. I will go for by attach, and here I want to reflect them about YZ plane. So I will select X axis, and the base point we already know. So this is our base point. And don't forget to duplicate the element. So I can go for element, let's say duplicate them, and I will set it to the current component so that this element will get stored in the right rail inner. As you can see, the component has been reflected, but at the same time I want to reflect the surfaces also. So again I will go for return, let's say tool, let's say reflect. Instead of element I can go for surfaces, then I can select the surface, let's say by collector. The surface that I want to reflect, they belongs to this left rail inner. So I can go for a left rail inner. To unselect this outer, I can just press right mouse button and then say select. As you can see, they have been selected. Similar manner, I will go for base point and select this is my base point. Don't forget to duplicate the surface in the current component. And let's say reflect. As you can see, the surfaces are also have been reflected. Now let's reflect this outer component. So let me go for return. Instead of right rail inner, I can go for right rail outer, and here I will go for tools and let's say reflect. Now instead of reflecting the surface and then element, we can directly reflect the component also. So again I will go for tools, say reflect. So let me click on component, select the component, and here I will go for this is my base point and then just say reflect. As you can see here, I have forgot to duplicate the component. So let me say undo. Here I will go for component, again click on it. Here I will go for component, and here I will say duplicate. Now once I say duplicate, as you can see, a separate collector has been created calling it as a left rail outer. That means the component he has created has been stored in the left rail outer. See, again this is a bug in Hypermesh, because in the previous case it was asking me where I should put these element and surfaces. But when I go for component reflection, he has created one component automatically. So again, let me go for return. Let me go for base point. Select this base point and then say reflect. And let's say return. Now one thing that I have to do is to transfer this left rail outer one into right rail outer. So I can go for tools and then organize or press shift F11. Here I will go for components. Here you can see I will not have any component. So I will have to go to individual element and surfaces only. So again click on it, say by collector. I want to transfer the element from left rail outer 1. Select it and I want destination component is right rail outer and just say move. In the similar manner I have to transfer the surfaces also. So click on it, say by collector, left rail outer and then right rail outer and say move. And let me say return. If you carefully observe, in the graphics display I have total 9 components. But in the component window I have the 10 components. That means one component has been created extra. And we don't want extra component in our model. So now to delete the extra component I can go for F2. Here instead of element I will go for components. And one beautiful option is there, that is preview empty. So the component which is empty, it will be selected automatically. As you can see, one entity is empty and I can simply delete this entity. And let me say return. Now you can see I have the 9 components. Now next thing that we are going to go is for the property. As you can see, though we have imported the geometries and then we have meshed the geometries by different engineers, but they haven't created any property, neither they have assigned the material. Generally, when we work in the company, the client will give all the data regarding, for example, which material has been applied to left rail inner outer, front truss upper lower or rear truss inner outer, as well as their thickness also mentioned by the client. But since this is a dummy project, I haven't given you the thickness in the PDF file. So in this particular case, here we are going to assume that all the material that we have is a steel and thickness of all the component is 1 mm except for this reinforcement plate which has a thickness of 2 mm. Now let's start with creation of material and observe how I am giving the property. So I can go for material. Now since the same material has been applied to all the components, I can simply go for mat name. Let me go for steel. Here we have different type. For example, as we have discussed previously only, isotropic where the material properties will not change with respect to direction, orthotropic where in perpendicular direction properties will change, or anisotropic hyperelastic, these are the just type of material. So if you give the specific type of material that is going to be created, then it will be much easier for hypermesh or for OptiStruct to handle the information. So I can go for isotropic and here I will go for card image. Depending on the type that we have selected, this matte or card image will occur. So for example, matte 1 is for temperature independent linear material data. So let me click on it because I am going to perform the linear analysis only. Click over here and then I will say create and edit. Never say create, always say create and edit. Here I will go for Young's modulus. So I will put this value as it is. Nu is nothing but Poisson's ratio, J is modulus of rigidity and rho is our density. So I will keep all this value as it is and let me say return. Here also let me say return. As you can see I have one material. Now I have to create two properties. So I can go for properties. But if you imagine properly, in the later section it might happen so that this front truss upper and lower they are failing because of insufficient thickness. In that case we have to change their property. So it is always a better practice to have the different properties for different component. That means if I have the 9 component, then I will create approximately 9 property. Again I will create a property for each and individual component. So let's start with the left rail inner. Now this type is depend on what type of analysis that we are going to perform. Whether we have 0D components, 1D element, 2D element or 3D element. As you can see I have simply 2D elements. So I can go for 2D element also. Depending upon the solver, this type will also change. Let me go for card image. The common 2D type that we use in the durability and crash analysis is this P shell. So let me select it. Depending on the type of problem and the industry you are working for, they will use this different card image. So let me go for P shell over here and material I have already created. So let's say steel. And here I will go for create and edit. As you can see here I have the ID of property. This is my material ID and this is my material ID too. Generally whenever OptiStruct create a component, it will give 3 material property in 3 different directions. So here it is very important that you have to give the material ID in 3 direction, because if you did not do it, most of the time I have made mistake over here. So if you give only 2 properties, then it will not perform the modal analysis properly. And here we have to give the thickness, so I can go for T0 and here I will put 1 as my thickness and let's say return, and again let's say return. Now we have created one property, so let me go for properties, let me expand this one, and here as you can see I have this property. Now I have to create a property for left rail inner, so again I can go for F2, that is rename. I will copy this name and here again I will right click in the window itself, I will go for create and here we will go for property. Let me click on it. Here you can see a property has came. Let me paste the name that we have copied previously and here I will put right. Now as you can see all the data has been copied by default. For example, card image that we have used previously, that is P-shell, that has been copied. Material we have to give, so let me click on it and here we have given the steel material. Again let me click on steel and let's say OK. Here we have to give the thickness, so 1 mm is my thickness. I will keep that as it is. Also the important point is for material direction, as you can see here MID3 is 1, MID2 is 1, so this property is done. Again let me go for another property, so this time I will go for right rail. So if I come to the component, I will have this right rail outer, so let me click on it, say F2, copy the name, again right click it, say create and say property. Here I will paste that name and here I will repeat the same procedure again and again to create a properties. Next I will go for front truss upper and lower, copy the name, right click, create and property. Paste the name, here I will go for material, specify steel material, let's say OK. Here give the thickness. Next instead of upper I will go for lower, so copy it, right click, create, say property, paste it. Instead of upper I will set it to lower and do the same procedure over and over again. Now the front truss upper and lower has been completed, then I will go for rear truss. Then last property that I will create is for this reinforcement plate. So let me click over here, copy the name, then again right click, say create, say property, let me paste the name and here material I will set it to steel, but as we discussed, since it is a reinforcement plate, it should have larger value of thickness. So let me click on it and let's say 2 mm. Now we have created the properties and we have created the material. But I haven't said that I have to apply this left rail inner to this component or I have to apply the left rail outer to this component. Here I have made the mistake, so let me click on it and instead of right let me set it to outer. So now next thing that we are going to do is assign this property to the particular component. Now to assign the property I can go for a component, let me go for assign, let me select this component. This is my left rail outer, so I will go for left rail outer, select it and say assign. In similar manner I will go for left rail inner, select it, property, and let's say left rail inner and let's say assign it, and you have to repeat this procedure for all the components. Now we have assigned all the properties, so we have to check whether we have assigned them for all the components or not. Because since it is a larger assembly, most of the time we can make the mistake. So I can go for return. Here instead of by component, I can go for by material and see the material that I have created is a steel and the color of that steel is this one. So all the elements are appearing in this color. That means to all the element and eventually to all the components this steel has been assigned. Next thing that I will go is for the property. So I can click on by property and you can see if I expand it, you can see appropriate property has been applied to each and every individual component. Now to check whether we have assigned the thickness or not, I can go for by property and here I will go for by thickness. If the component has not been assigned any thickness, then it will be shown in the gray color. As you can see, all the components except this reinforcement plate are appearing in the gray color. That means their particular property does not contain any thickness value. Now it might happen because we are in the hurry, we generally forgot to press enter. So I can go for left rail inner, again deliberately go over here and put the thickness. I am making this mistake so that you will understand these things, because these are very simple mistakes, but when we go for analysis this will happen most of the time. So let me press 1 and press enter. Again let me move downward, press 1 and then press enter. Come over here. As you can see, once I given the thickness, the appropriate color is appearing. Press enter. Let me go for inner also. Move over here. 1, press enter. Or one thing that you can do is shift this little bit upwards. Then go for front truss. 1 and enter. Here if you want to give the different thickness, then also you can do it. For example, we will try this rear truss outer and inner. Here we will give 2 mm thickness. If I change the value of thickness, they have been assigned the different color. Similarly, let's give different thickness to front, lower and upper also. So I can go for front truss upper. Let me set thickness to 3. And here again for the lower, let me thickness to 3. 3 is little bit on higher side. So let me switch back to the 2 mm itself. In this way basically we can assemble the component and we can create a different material and different properties for the different components. Now the next thing that we are going to go is for the connection.